At what point do we finally say, hey, let the whole thing drop? And that's where, coming full circle, really, and I'm not a doom and gloom guy, because I believe in the power of the human spirit, the power of the human collective, our ingenuity. I believe God shines down light when the moment is its darkest. I do believe in divine providence. This has happened. My own life has been proof of this in a way. So I come back to that spiritual armor element almost every time. But the fact is, we have to understand, we're seeing the death throes, the death rattle of an ancient evil cult system, global cult, that thought they had this in the bag, and they got all their logistics basically right. They got all their money funneling basically right. They got all their honeypotting basically right. But they did not understand the power of the human collective spirit. The
human energy. Yeah, exactly.
The fact that we won't go with it. You thought we would go with it. And a lot of us did. And we were at war with each other sometimes about it. But at the end of the day, on a core level, the majority of people have hearts that care for their fellow man, care for the children, care for other countries that maybe have problems going on. We care for each other, our fellow man. And that is got to be understood. And I think that that's kind of the beautiful poetic side of it, is that none of this is being hidden anymore. There's no hiding any of this. It's all in front of your face now. And all you got to do is do a little homework. I am very disheartened by the number of people that again are swallowing this Ukraine hook, and I'm not saying it's wrong to stand up for Ukraine or it's just the fact that people are just parroting the mainstream narrative again.
Right,
after all we've seen, after all you've seen. And I know people personally that have gone from the loony left to the centrist point of view and just being more open, go, I can't believe the media lied to me. I know people that were gung-ho about the COVID fear porn that have moved to getting rid of cable and saying, I can't believe it. I fell for it. I voted for Biden. I feel like a fool,
It's that awakening human energy, and it comes to, like you said, and it's this divine energy, this universal energy, this consciousness that's beyond physical, tangible, calculating levels. But I think the COVID narrative failed because the elites didn't calculate for that what you call divine providence is sure. It's not religion, it's energy, and this synergy of the world that says, hey, something's not quite right here. We got to do something as a society to move forward past this. And I think with the Ukraine thing, like, I am a man that stands up for freedom, that stands up for independence, liberty, justice, honest living, everyone to be able to live in their full capable of their human being. But with what we've discussed here in this last hour, we've addressed these corruptions, we've addressed the issue, we've addressed the history of this neo-fascist regime that's been going on for generations in Ukraine. We've talked about these biolabs and how the COVID narrative is seamlessly integrating with this Russia-Ukraine narrative, and people aren't addressing that, and people aren't seeing that for what it is. I think that there's going to be a lot more coming out with this biolab, with this. This is the main the main driving factor on what Putin's agenda is, and how Putin himself, whether he says one thing or another about NATO, it goes back to, I think, the fact that he was bamboozled by COVID, which then incited him to say, no, fuck this. I'm over this agenda. They're going to keep push. They're doing this bio warfare, that they're going to push this agenda 2030. They're going to be doing these things. And he stood up against that. And the media is trying to cover it and call him a fascist and smear his character and smear everything about Russia. But coming back to what the people do, what we can do, right? You go ahead, put your little Ukraine flag on your Facebook profile. Go ahead and wear the the yellow and blue, right? Go ahead. But what it comes back down to is, what do we do in our daily life to assure, in these uncertain times, how we can sustain ourselves, right? And I go back to the same old tropes. Call me old-fashioned, but If food prices are increasing, buy some seeds and grow a garden, and have your means to grow a garden, have your means to separate yourself from this new world order system. If gas prices are going $6 a gallon, and all you need to do is drive a couple miles to work and back, I mean, and it's going to better your health, ride a bike, or carpool, or and I don't want to think of this as capitulating. I'm trying to address that there is ways to beat the system, right? 2 weeks to flatten the curve of COVID. Well, what if it's 2 weeks to stop buying gas? 2 weeks to stop funneling into this great reset narrative of you will
Right.
own nothing and be happy. Guess what, bitch? I'm going to own a garden. I'm going to be self-sufficient. I'm going to have solar panels. I'm going to ride a bike. I'm going to own these things that are going to better my life, and fuck you and the establishment elites. Right.
Amen. And you said it there too with the food thing, the economic warfare side of it. We can talk all day. I can't believe the spin, how they say, was it Saki coming out saying, yeah, gas prices are up because the economy's good. I mean, it's just, they're just manipulating everything and inverting everything. So what can we foretell here? Well, the Ukraine region, right? Apparently a third of global wheat is going to basically just stop being produced because of all this. There's mayhem, whatever. And is that fear porn? And it's not really true. I don't know, but why even bet, right? So the idea is that we've seen the trend. We've seen the prices of food go up, the prices of vehicles, gas, blah, blah, blah. And here we are, you're kind of face to face with that choice. And it's like, I don't know if the lockdown from March 2020 wasn't enough of a wake up call when people are fighting each other for toilet paper after being told in what, 48 hours after this was declared, whatever the hell the time was. It was like this. It was like, boom, yep. We have a pandemic, toilet paper. It was absurd. So now flash forward, you think it's going to be easy peasy and beautiful when we have actual kinetic conflict going across planet Earth? And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it's possible. We have to be open. We have to be prepared.
Plan for the worst. Expect the best. Plan, prepare for the worst. Right?
Always, dude. Always. And that's why we're not going to fall for this time around. I think that there's enough awake and aware people now that we're 2 years into the COVID thing, literally like on the day, here we are, March, middle of March.
It really is. Yeah.
So very interesting, 2-year anniversary of that. Here comes World War III. But, I think a lot of people are waking up, they're smelling the coffee. They're realizing that, hey, there's, again, coming back to, well, I can't trust them and I can't trust them. I'm just going to go within, right? I'm going to look at all the data points. I'm going to find my own, I'm going to navigate it my own way. And the way that I do that is going to be through empowering myself. Do not rely, right? I love that, man. Do not rely, because as soon as you rely on it, they pull that carpet out from under you. So get situated, get your provisions, and I feel really, my heart goes out. We know the direness of the economy. There's millions and millions of people that cannot afford to stock up food, cannot afford to get a weapon in their home, cannot afford to secure their property, and they don't own property. That's by design. The system was created to make you poor, to make you weak, to make you unhealthy, to make you totally lethargic. So my challenge to the audience, to everybody, is to, hey, don't do nothing. Don't be complacent. Realize that you're not going to go wrong if you start emancipating yourself from some of these parts of the system that you're relying on. And that is not easy. A lot of people say there's just no way in American culture. There's always a way. And, that's where it's going. And that's why this crypto thing is important too. And people fight me on crypto all the time. Crypto's evil. It's not evil. It goes against the dollar. Why would you do that? Well, hold on. The dollar is fake money anyway. Are we forgetting that point? So, when it comes to alternative currencies, understand you and your neighbor can have an alternative currency outside of the system altogether. You can give your neighbor what you have in your garden, and they can provide you what they have in their garage or in their basement.
Whatever is valuable is a commodity, and I try to work with community, like, get a couple people involved that do have a couple trades or things, or, skilled laborers,
Yep.
those are equally valuable as a fiat currency or a crypto or whatever you want to go, right?
Your labor, your expertise is going to be far more valuable in our new economic future, I believe, than, you know, how much Bitcoins in your crypto wallet or US dollars may even be, you know, in cash form in your
Or
hand,
Russian rubles,
or
right?
Russian
Like,
rubles or whatever. Yeah. You know, another interesting thing to point out here, rounding it out, is that looking from the higher perspective, right? Looking down on Earth, if I'm an alien looking down at the story on planet Earth, which sometimes I believe I am,
we're all
but
aliens, bro. Ancient aliens and
oh
pyramids,
hell
dude.
yeah,
That's another episode.
we'll do a big ass show on that. I love that shit.
Yeah, man.
Totally. But you know, looking down, big picture, well, what's going on? Every little tidbit of drama and trauma and conflict and issue of today, political drama, all of it is catalyst for each country to revolutionize, in a sense, and emancipate themselves, the populations of the country, not the bureaucracies within the country. So we have catalysts. This is, in my opinion, and it's always been my opinion, that all this craziness, all the wildness, as much as it just clouds your mind and makes you want to fucking just run to the woods and do nothing, all of this is catalyst for God. It's basically God saying, what you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? They're poking you. They're punching you. They're hitting you in the crotch, dude. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to evolve? Are you going to man up? Are you going to get wise to the tricks? Are you going to fashion your sword? Are you going to stand up for yourself? Are you going to go down on one knee and fucking fold and let them stomp all over? It all comes down to this. And every country is staring down the barrel right now. Every person in every country has been attacked. You've been attacked with COVID. You've been attacked economically. You've been attacked with fake news. You've been attacked every single way we could talk: physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, economically, all throughout time. You've been attacked. Now you have the option to punch back. Now you
Yep.
have the choice to clean up your own town. And it's happening. It's
Making
not
it
happening.
happen, and
Yeah.
understanding that this is an inherent evil that we have to oust,
We
and
got to clean it up.
using our ability to no longer be complacent, to no longer stand by and watch this take place. And I think to go on your point there is and my theory is that this reality, our third dimensional physical plane of existence, is the determining factor, is the grounds for free will, and how we as spiritual beings evolve in our evolution in consciousness, in dimensional existence, in this universal plane that we call life, right? And if we just stand by and watch this evil take place, and if we just sit by and let everything happen and not stand up and not do what is right in our inherent being, how we feel and how we act and how we respond to crisis, to stress, right? These are the inherent battles of a spiritual nature.
Yes.
It is multidimensional, and I think that is one of the reasons why humans are here as an inherent free-willed being. Going into the spirituality aspect of it, another episode. But this is what the eternal fight is understanding that there is this dance of evil and good, and tyranny, and freedom, and light and dark, and we have to do something in this world to make sure that future generations can live up to the world that we want to see, right? We be the change you want to see in the world. And my, like, on my arm, fight for freedom, and understand that there are inherent truths in the world that have to be put out, have to be played out. And that's why we have these discussions, and that's why we have our platforms.